Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm so excited that I have Rena McDonald here from Mcdonald Law Group. It's really fun because Rena and I have known each other for quite a while from Rena being a Shade Tree board member, and I'm also a past board member and all the stuff we do for Shade Tree. Many of you know how much I love Shade Tree, and she's also in Las Vegas. It's kind of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and let you, Rena, go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you do, and then we'll jump right into the topic for today.
Wonderful. Good morning. Thank you for having me today, Galit. It's so nice to see you.
The video is weird, right?
I know, it's funny. I'm used to seeing you face to face. I wish I could reach through the computer and give you a hug. So I'm an attorney. I'm from Las Vegas. Actually, I was born and raised here. I'm a third generation Las Vegan, so we've been here for a while. And I went to the Boyd School of Law and became an attorney about 15 years ago. I worked for a couple of other attorneys, and, I really became an attorney to help people. It's my passion. It's what I love doing. And I wasn't happy working for some other people, and I wasn't happy with the way that the clients were treated. I wasn't getting that satisfaction out of what I was doing. So I decided I could do better, and I opened my own law firm. It's been 10 years this year, so I'm very proud of that.
Yay.
And I've been helping people ever since. So we do practice in a lot of different areas of law. And
why don't you tell us the areas, because I know we're going to be focusing today on asset protection, but tell us a little bit about everything you do in case anybody needs anything.
Sure. So we do a lot of real estate involved litigation. We help landlords and tenants. We do a lot of family law. So we help clients with divorce and custody issues. We do some estate planning. So we help our clients protect their assets in that capacity. We do a lot of business work where we help our business clients maintain asset protection, help them with any kind of litigation they have or any kind of needs that way. And we also have a debt management practice where we help our clients get rid of their debt. So we've helped a lot of people. We've gotten rid of hundreds of millions of dollars worth of debt, which I'm really proud of.
Those are all really good areas if any of the women that are watching and they need help in that. Now, my only question before we get started is, do they have to be in Nevada for you to help them?
Yes, or the issue has to be here in Nevada. So I'm only licensed in the state of Nevada, and I cannot practice in other areas. So the law in every state is different, unfortunately, which makes it really complicated if you operate in different states. But in Nevada, I'm licensed here. So, and sometimes your issue is in Nevada, even if you're not here. So if it's in Nevada, then I can help with it.
Perfect. Yeah, we have a lot of ladies in the group from Las Vegas. Really wonderful being that I'm here. So that's great. So tell us a little bit about asset protection and what we're going to talk about today.
Well, Galit, I watch a lot of your videos, and I'm very inspired, and I'm very excited about all the women business owners starting their new businesses. And I continually am thinking that we need to have a discussion about asset protection. And I want to help them be able to grow their business in a way that they're protected. So obviously your concern is that first step, should I start a business? My concern for my clients is, what can you do to protect the assets you already have so that you can open a business with that kind of freedom? So the government, in all their wisdom, decided many years ago that new business is good. It's good for the economy, and it's good for the American people. So they wanted to give you a way to create or to start new businesses without that fear that if something happens, you're going to lose everything that you have. So they created the corporate structure. And it really doesn't matter if you're talking about a corporation or an LLC. They're just different types of companies. I'm going to refer to them as a corporation just for purposes of our discussion, but it's the same thing. So in the United States, when you create a corporation, you become indemnified personally from any liability of the business. So if you start a business and something happens and the business doesn't go well, or there's some litigation or something, they cannot personally come after your assets. So they can't come after your house, your personal bank accounts, your car, any of that. So having that first level of asset protection is so important when you're starting a new business. And I always have clients that come to me and say, I'm just going to set up a small, knitting business. Do I really need a corporation? Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? I mean, there is some cost associated with it up front, but all of that is deductible. And at the end of the day, when it comes to paying the Secretary of State fees or losing your house, there's no question as far as I'm concerned. So that's the first level.
Absolutely. So what I want to say to the women that are watching that might not understand what we're talking about as well is that typically when you start a company, let's say you come up with a name, okay? And typically if you come up with a name, a lot of people go ahead and make it almost registered and make it official. We'll call it that. So for example, if I started a company, which I did, called Galit Empowering You, I just went and made up this name and now I have a company and a website and whatever. But what I did was within this, when I had a name, I went ahead and filed a DBA. I went ahead and made it an LLC. So that's what Rena's talking about. So now what happens is, and I'm going to kind of just tell them the parts that aren't the attorney part. Now I have a bank account under Galit Empowering You LLC, and I have a tax ID, and I file taxes. And my money is run through that bank account, and everything is structured. So what Rena does is you make sure, but the biggest part about all this is the protection.
Right.
What you said is so important. I hate that we're a sue happy country. We're a sue happy country. So if somebody all of a sudden decides that they don't like Galit's smile today, which is
right,
they can decide to sue me because they don't like my smile. But
exactly.
They sue Galit Empowering You. And that's what you're talking about, that extra piece. So tell us a little bit about how you work with these women, and what the pieces are, because it really, see, people think attorney, they think immediately expensive. It's not expensive.
No, it is not.
And I remember because I did it all, but tell them a little bit about the pieces that you offer them and what they can do with you.
Sure. So I like to analogize it to a castle. So all of your stuff is inside the castle, your treasure, your house, your cars, whatever you have. And even if it's not a lot, it's something you don't want to get rid of. You don't want to lose. So it's your treasure. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to build some walls. You're going to build the actual castle. That's setting up a corporation. That's your first basic structure. And it's relatively inexpensive. I think the Secretary of State fees are $600. And then from there, what you have to do is you have to create a bank account. And the most important thing to maintaining that corporate protection is the transfer of money. That's the thing that messes people up more than anything else, is all of a sudden they'll get a check for their business, but they really need some money in their personal account. So they just deposit that in their personal account. Don't do that. That's not good. So you want to create a company business account. That's like the archers on the wall of your castle, right? And then you're going to want to get business insurance. That's going to be your moat around your castle. Just on and on. There's different things you should do, but you absolutely have to start with the basic corporation. You have to have, it doesn't matter whether it's a corporation or an LLC. For most individuals, I recommend an LLC because it's easier than a corporation. But I will caution you this. If you are a one person or a single member LLC and you practice outside of Nevada, so if you're in another state, that might not be the right structure for you, because some states, if you're a one person LLC, it doesn't give you the asset protection. So know your laws. And if you have questions, go talk to an attorney. Most attorneys do free consultations and they can help you with that. Right. So then you set up the bank accounts in the company's name, and you have to make sure that the flow of money goes into the business bank account. You can transfer out of the business bank account. That's fine, but you have to do that. And nowadays, this is so easy to do with online banking. It takes 2 seconds. And I'm constantly shocked by the clients who come to me and go, oh, well, it was just too complicated to do it that way. And I'm like, really? Let me just show you. Done. That's all it takes. So, make sure that you're maintaining that. They call it a corporate fiction, or that separation between you and your company that gives you that asset protection. It's just so important. I was reading a really scary statistic that said that new businesses within the first 2 years of operation, over 50% of them will have some kind of legal issue that requires counsel. So knowing that, and knowing that we are in a society that these things become relevant, that people are likely to sue for your smile. Though Galit, I doubt it, but
being in business over 20 years, how many, knock on wood, how many lawsuits I've seen.
It's scary.
Yeah, and some of them are so frivolous, and it's unfortunate. But because we're in a country where not looked as frivolous until they're in front of an actual attorney and he says it's frivolous, right, Rena?
Right.
Everybody has the same rights. So
They have, people always say, can they sue me for that? And I say, yeah, they can sue you for having purple shoes if they want. They can sue you for anything. So,
so I think what I want to say before we wrap up is this. You actually are someone that these women that live in Nevada can come to you and say, hey, Rena, I'm starting a new business, or I already have a business, but I don't think I'm doing it right. How do we get me set up? And you'll actually handhold them and walk them through the process.
absolutely. We have a checklist of things we go over with our clients. And something else I want to mention just really quickly, in every state, you can get a designation as being a woman-owned business. And depending on who you do work with, this can give you a leg up in terms of getting contracts for government work. A lot of organizations are required to use minorities or women-owned businesses first. So getting this simple distinction, and it's not hard to do, getting that distinction can give you a tactical advantage for your business. And that's something else I talk to my women clients about.
I know that piece from women general contractors, contractors where if it's government entities, sometimes they have to have a certain amount of contracts for minorities. And then they say they have that designation as you're talking about, and then they have a better chance of getting it than a man, which, what the heck, why not, right?
Well, and the problem, I think a lot of new businesses are concerned, oh, well, I don't have any experience, but they might be looking for you. So depending on who you're doing work with, and some people think, oh, that's only good for construction. Well, what if you sell promotional products?
No, it could be good for anything.
What if you sell counseling services? There's a lot of different organizations that are looking for individuals, and they have to meet their required quotas. And so even if you're a new business, just having that distinction can really give you that, like I said, that tactical advantage that we want you to have.
I love that. So do me a favor, when we're done with the Facebook Live, please put a link to your website.
I will.
And then I'm going to be sending you the video of the interview. That's part of what you get from me. You can go ahead and repurpose it for your advertising and for your marketing, because you gave us some great information here.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I think that sometimes we try to avoid the things that seem complicated or scary to us, and law is one of those. But law can be your friend. So I just want to kind of emphasize that as someone that's not a lawyer, right?
No.
We all have lawyers for different things. It's not a bad thing. You're out there knowing things I don't know. And I need that, because I need to make sure I protect myself.
I try to give my clients that peace of mind. So, as a new business owner, sometimes you're faced with these really big risks and you're like, oh, I'm afraid that I'm going to fail. Well, just having a corporation can give you that comfort that, hey, if you fail, it's okay. Nothing's going to happen to you personally. So that's what I'm trying to give my clients.
And I'm going to share that as a business owner for 20 years that owns multiple entities, I actually started a different entity for each business. And we won't get into that because that's a whole nother interview. But it's not difficult to do. It's not a lot to maintain or worry about. I seriously do it. And then I have the paperwork in a file, and today everything's digital. And I just leave it there until every year when my CPA needs it and he needs this, I just send him what he needs, and that's it. So I believe in that very strongly. And it's a piece that most women that are entrepreneurs and working for themselves, let's say no employees, and I can only talk about Nevada. Again, I don't know anything about any other states. Right. But in Nevada, it made so much sense, and I learned very young, start an entity for every single company that I have. And that way I'm protected and I don't have to worry about my personal stuff.
Right. Exactly. So I'm happy to have given this information today. I'm happy to help out anybody who has some questions. We obviously do free consultations. So sit down, I give you a checklist of things that you need to go over and different ways you can protect yourself.
And do me a favor, when you put the link to your website, go ahead and put your work number too, just because we have so many women from Vegas that'll be really okay. Sounds good. Hold on just a second. I'm going to go ahead and hang up. And
thank you
for letting me interview you.
Have a great day.
Hold on just a second, Rena. And it's not working. Hold on. Hi, ladies. You know technology. I'm trying to get out of it and it won't. All right, let me just tell you. That's so funny. So technology is so funny. It will not let me end it. You have to have so much fun with this. Give me a second. Let me try something different.
I can keep talking.
I know, right? We can talk forever. So, all right. Yeah, it won't let me end it. Let me try just Xing out and see if that works. Hilarious. Obviously, we're not supposed to end this.
Facebook's enjoying our
I had
conversation.
this problem before. Give me just a second. I'm actually going to log in, see if I can log into Facebook and end it. It will not let me X out. It will not let me do anything. It's so funny. Oh, there we go. Finally. All right, hold on a second.